If you are building a business, then at some point you have to actually write some sort of copy to either make a sale, to promote and market your business. I mean, heck, just to connect with human beings, there's emails, there's social media posts, there's webinars, there's video descriptions, there's all of these things, product descriptions, sales pages, all of these things that require you or someone on your team to have some sort of command of language and how you actually write your copy. And I will share with you a little story that set me up to feel very insecure about my writing. And I will also share with you how I have overcome that. And now writing is something that I love to do, and we get some pretty amazing results. So today we're going to be diving into 5 copywriting frameworks that will help you to feel more confident, to bring in more sales, and to actually enjoy writing, even if you're someone like me who kind of felt like they were allergic to it. As we're all getting here, I'm going to play a little video and we'll be right back. Doesn't that just make you want to dance? I love it. All right, let me know if you're watching this live or let me know if you're watching in the replay. Either way, I'm so thrilled to be able to connect with you. If we've never met before, my name's Molly Mahoney. Hey, and if you would like the notes from today's show, guess what? They are already written. I just had them in my hand. Here they are. Look, they're already written. They're already written. Doreen, so good to see you. Doreen used to sell these amazing shirts that I bought all the time when I was a kid, and I love them. It's so good to see you. Okay, so these are the notes from today's show. We're going to be going over it. If you would like those notes, just drop the word "remind me," all one word, in the chat below. I'm going to pop that up on the screen. There we go. Drop the word "remind me" below, and that will get you access to a few things. So if you're watching this over on the Book of Faces, then when you drop the word "remind me," you will instantly get a little message. If you're watching this on our business page, you'll get a message right away that says, hey, it looks like you want a reminder. Click here to get the reminder. If you want the show notes, click here to get the show notes. It gives you all those things. If you're watching this either on my personal profile, on YouTube, inside a Facebook group, or on LinkedIn, then know when you drop "remind me," it'll take a little bit of time, but we will get back to you. And the show notes from today are already written. I actually finished them this morning, so we'll be getting those out to you either later today or tomorrow, which is so awesome. And I would love it if I could actually write copy for you on this video. So this is going to be pretty interactive. So if you're here live, I'm actually going to show you how to use these frameworks in action, and then we'll be able to do it together, which is so cool, right? Okay, I love it. Oh my gosh. All right. So if there is something that you have that's coming up as a goal in your business, I would love to know what it is. Are you heading into some sort of product launch? Do you have a masterclass or a webinar that you want to invite people? Do you have a product that you're looking to sell right away? Put in the chat what that next big goal is for you in your business. And I'm going to pick somebody. I'm going to come back and grab one of you to actually write some copy for you live while we're right here. Oh, so good. And I also want to let you know that we will be doing a nugget giveaway. So those of you that drop the hashtag nugget below, we're going to give away. I don't have one on today. Let's just we'll do a selfie light. Okay, we're going to give away a selfie light. So the selfie light, it's super awesome. It clips right onto your phone, onto your computer, and it lights up your beautiful face so that you can do more videos, whether they're short form or long form or whatever it is. And as we're diving into, I love all of your goals. Wait, let me finish exactly how to do that. What you do is you're going to drop the hashtag nugget in the chat. And I know we've got some nuggets already. We got Cece. Awesome. Oh, Cece, perfect. We'll do things for your challenge or masterclass. Laura is launching a YouTube channel. Wait, how is there no glare in your glasses? Okay, this is like the number one question that I get asked more than anything else. And when we put up our new sign, we had to do so many weird maneuvers in this room to make it so that my ring light did not glare in the sign. And then now the windows kind of glare in it, which is a bummer. But Watch. Do you see the glare now? There it is. It's all about how you position your light, and then you keep your chin down. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. This is great copywriting. Let's just say right here. I want to sell out of a product that is selling slowly and costing a couple of organs. We will cost you no organs today for this video, just so you know. And if this is your first time joining us, just drop the word new in the chat. I always love to make sure that I connect with our new members of our community. And Cece's doing a great job of showing how to do the nugget giveaway. You share the hashtag nugget, and then you write what the nugget was. Now, this does a few things. First of all, it lets me know what is resonating with you so I can give you more of that in these free videos. It also, I talk pretty quickly, so it also kind of live transcribes the video so that other people who maybe can't hear as quickly as I speak, they can read the things that I've said in case they miss it. And the other thing that it does is it tells the platform, hey, we should get this video out in front of more people because it keeps the conversation going. And we all know that these platforms want us to keep people on the platform longer, right? So awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you have questions that come up during this, I'm going to try and get straight to the copywriting stuff, but we'll be here for about an hour. So if you have questions that come up, write a Q in the front of your question. I'm going to answer Pat's question next because I see it there, but going forward, I'm going to get distracted if I keep trying to answer questions. So just drop a Q in front of your question, and then I'll come back and answer questions at the end. Pat, this camera is actually a Sony A7, I think. I got it as a part of the Samcart launch. So I was a partner with Samcart, and the second place was a whole video studio. So I even have a new teleprompter. I have all of this fancy camera equipment now, which is pretty fun. And I finally figured out how to use it. Oh my gosh. I was supposed to do this live on Instagram and I forgot. For the past 10 minutes, I've been reminding myself to click the dang button on Instagram. Let's get the cheap seats going on Instagram, and they're going to realize why they need to join us on Facebook. Okay. Last week, I forgot to click the button. Let me see if I can do it. It may not even be possible now. Okay. I'm clicking today, online event. Oh, maybe it wasn't set up as a live video. It says online event. Okay. So I'm just going to write under here, join us. Okay, perfect. I'm going to do just like this. We're going to go live and say copywriting. Perfect. Now we are totally good to go. This is public. We've got all the things turned on, and you are seeing me mess with things behind the scenes. I would love it if you feel that this is something that would be valuable for you and would be valuable for your friends. We're going to dive into these 5. There's actually 9. I upped it. So we're sharing 9 copywriting frameworks today. And if you find that it would be valuable for you or your friends, then sprinkle it amongst your community. It's so awesome. Okay, I'm starting this live video. We're going to be all right. All right. And I want to also let you know that if this is something that you want more support with, like I said, I'm going to write some copy for you today. But if it's something that you want more support with, we actually have a content club. And I'm going to get you the information about the content club. Hello. We are talking about copywriting today. It is so awesome. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh, Instagram is like giving me all these weird things. Join us on Facebook if you want to be able to see the screen that I'm sharing. Okay. So if you go to the content club, it's molly.live/content club. We actually do a call every month where we plan out your content for the entire month. So if you like what we end up doing today, just know you can get more of it by joining us inside the content club. So I'm giving a little shameless plug for the content club, molly.live/content club. And that will help you to be able to, join us there. Okay, let's jump into this. So I have 5 frameworks, and I actually have 5 frameworks plus 5 headline frameworks to be able to jump into today. So we have a total of 9 frameworks that we're going to cover. And the reason that I thought this was something that was so important and valuable for you is because I legitimately wanted to puke every time I started to write copy when I first started this business. So if you're not familiar with what we do here, we help people like you to be able to get clients with video and organic social. We have courses and coaching and all kinds of awesome stuff. And in the beginning, what I did is I just would do videos. I didn't really write much at all. I am a professional musical theater performer. That was my business. I was on an episode of the Gilmore Girls, which is super fun. So I have experience on camera. I have experience speaking. But when it came to actually writing, it was something that was really difficult for me. Like, really. I remember putting my first webinar together and actually having to put things on the slides where people would see what I was writing. And even though that's like short form written content, I was so terrified. I decided finally to take myself to a restaurant and I ordered a big old bowl of pasta and a big old glass of wine. And I sat there to actually reward myself with the pasta and the wine to get myself through these slides. Now, at this point, I love creating slides. I love writing copy. But the thing that really changed this for me was that I found a few frameworks and I followed some templates from other coaches and mentors that I was working with that really helped to free me of this. Because what it did, and this is the really important thing to remember for today, is that it allowed me to follow the rules and then within those rules, bring in my own fun and pizzazz, my own sort of quirkiness, my own personality. So these frameworks are not about creating something that makes you feel boxed in and is like, you need to write like a professional. No, that's not what it's about. The frameworks are really about giving yourself a little bit of a guideline and then being able to shine around that. Now, just to like really prove how terrifying this whole copywriting thing has been for me, you may have heard the story. When I was in my 20s, I had a boyfriend that I was dating for a couple years, and he ended up breaking up with me because he said that I wasn't smart enough for him. For real. And it really, like, to the core of my being, like, really upset me. And it's something that stuck with me for quite some time. And I ended up equating, because he was a writer, I ended up equating my self-worth with my ability to write. And I felt that I was horrible at writing. And now at this point, I'm like, who's not smart enough now, sucker? Right? And I give him like whatever love he needed for his ego to tell me those things. But at this point now, I recognize that writing is something that we have generated so many sales. We have been able to help so many people because of what I have written. And even still with that, there are times where I have typos. There are times where I have spelling mistakes. There are times where I have grammatical errors that go out in our copy or our emails or our ads. And sometimes people leave really mean comments on my posts. There's one I was going to try and pull up. There's one where someone said, and I know, oh, you know what? This is the wrong slides. It was something like, as second graders, we are taught like some fancy whatever thing about how I don't know how to write better than a second grader. Well, I am here to tell you right now that if you are someone who has had any sort of signs of dyslexia, which I'm pretty sure that I have, if you're someone who has struggled because you were told that you didn't follow the rules, if you're someone that was like, did bad on spelling tests, you can write too. Okay. And it has actually been proven that when you have grammatical errors in your copy, when you have spelling mistakes on things, you actually get more engagement. And the reason I think for that is because people comment below to tell you that there's a mistake there, which is okay. Because if you can laugh at it, none of that stuff really matters. Now, I understand that some of you may be like very good at spelling, and you may be like very good at grammar, and you may be very committed to your opinions about the Oxford comma or not Oxford comma. And I celebrate you. And I think that's amazing. And I know that we all have our own superpowers. So it's something that we need to identify in ourselves. If you are someone who is really great at that, awesome, and celebrate it. If you're someone who's not, awesome, and celebrate that too. Okay, so let's jump into our very first framework. And the first framework that we're going to go over is my absolute favorite. I use it all the time. It is the PAS framework. Okay. So what you're going to do as we're going through this, like I said, we have 9 different things that we're going to cover today. And what I want you to do is I want you to recognize that each framework that I share with you today, you are going to be able to put into action. So tomorrow, when you go to write an email or you go to write a description for a video, you're going to go, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I showed up for Molly's video. Some of you may say, I'm so grateful that I decided to join Molly in the content club or in Show Up with Video because these frameworks are making it so easy. So if you can just give me the words so easy below this video, then you will be able to really ground that in because this is going to make it so easy. Okay, so this first one is called the PAS framework. PAS. And it stands for problem, agitate, solve. Okay. And I know that some of you gave me your goal of what you're trying to sell and stuff. Oh no. I think I may have. Oh, I got it. Yeah. So I've got some of these here. So like Cece has a challenge and a masterclass. Cece, the problem, agitate, solve framework is perfect for inviting people to a challenge or a masterclass. It's perfect for each email that you're sending out every day of the challenge or the masterclass. Laura says that I don't know why I can't see my S's today. Laura says that she's launching a YouTube channel and an online course this summer. She's watching over on YouTube, just like Cece is. And this is also another great one for launching a YouTube course, a YouTube channel, an online course. It's perfect for that. All of these. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to identify our ideal client. So before you move forward into any of these frameworks, you have to know who the human being is that you are speaking to, right? We have to know who that human being is. So who has a human being they'd love to talk to? Put their first name in the chat, and I'm going to do this example for you. And if you're watching on Instagram, we are live on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and all those places where I'm screen sharing. I'm not screen sharing on Instagram. Okay. I'm also going to show you how you don't even need to use your brain for this. We're going to go right in. Okay, awesome. So I've got Cece, I'm going to go with yours. So we're going to go Shirley. So what is your challenge about? Cece, we're looking at the ideal client, who is Shirley, and we're looking at what this challenge or whatever it is, the 5-day challenge that you're wanting to get her to. We've got that there also. I love you, Marcy. All right. So what is this about? And then we're going to figure out what is the problem that Shirley is experiencing that joining this challenge will solve for her. Keep in mind, I didn't say joining your program because right now we're focusing on getting her to sign up for the challenge. Okay, so if I was going to do this for our content club, for example, I would say the problem, right? I'd start with the problem. Are you totally overwhelmed by all of the content that you feel like you need to create on all of these different platforms? That's the problem. So you can start by asking, are you experiencing this problem? Then you're going to agitate it. And I love to say things like, look, I get it. I've been there, right? Oh, I feel you. It can feel like there's so many things that you have to do. Then you're going to provide the solution. Well, lucky for you, we actually have this awesome way for you to batch create your content in just 2 hours a month. It's called the Content Club. Did you see how I did that? I did problem, agitate, solve. It's so easy. And the more that you get used to this framework, the easier that it becomes. Okay, so this is, ooh, I like it. So Cece says, in sales, she does not trust her gut or listening to her client. So what is the problem though? Because I think this, not trusting her gut, is probably more of what you know her problem to be and more of what the solution is. What is her problem? Is her problem that she's not getting conversions? Because we really want to look at, and this is actually going to be framework number 4, but we really want to look at what is the thing that they know that the problem is. Like, what's the thing that they know they're wanting? What's the solution they know they're wanting? Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into my favorite copywriting tool and I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to put the link in the chat. The link is molly.live/wow if you want a free trial of this. And I'm not going to use this for all of the frameworks, but this works really well for this one. Okay, this is awesome. Overwhelmed and she's not getting sales. I just can't do it. Right? And what is your challenge actually called, Cece? And I'm going to show you how we can use a template to just write this copy for her. And Cece's in the content club, so this is cool too. Okay, I'm going to pull up this window here. Ready? Screen sharing. Window. Okay. Here we go. And we're going to go to, and if you want to look at how you can use this tool also, I'm going to put the link in the description here. Molly dot, whoops. Lives. I should have done this one before. Okay, molly.live/wow. And inside this tool, you'll actually see loads of frameworks and templates in here, which is pretty awesome. But if we, and maybe I will show you just a little bit if you're on Instagram. Ready? Here we go. Flip around, flip around. Oops, you can't see it there. All right. You should join us on Facebook or YouTube. All right, so we're here on this inside this tool, and you see this PAS framework. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, you can see I was using it for this video today. I'm going to grab her title. Okay. Do I have your, and find it will be easier than the I can't do it and find it will be easier than you think challenge. Okay. Let's call it the make it easy challenge. Okay. So what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to write make it easy challenge. And then I'm just going to write, if you are experiencing overwhelm and want more sales, this challenge is for you. Okay. Now that's not great copy. It's okay. And I'm going to say, if you are an entrepreneur, I'm putting in the person, the type of person that it is, and I'm going to make this in the tone of, let's do spunky. Okay. Now watch, I'm going to hit generate and it's going to write these different paragraphs for me, which will be following this framework. And remember, I said problem, agitate, solve, right? So that's what it is. You're probably juggling a million things as an entrepreneur, and it's hard to keep track of what's important. It can feel impossible to know where to start once you have, when you want more sales, but you don't have the time or energy to try everything at once. Solution: the Make It Easy Challenge is a step-by-step program that gives you the tool support you need to get more sales without feeling overwhelmed. This challenge is for entrepreneurs who are ready to make more money and have more freedom in their lives. Oh my gosh. How easy was that? Is it like the coolest thing ever? So you can use this tool, Jasper, which is molly.live/wow. That's our partner link. No, full transparency. Even if you don't want to use this partner link and use this tool, you can do that with your own brain, right? So just by saying, what's the problem they're experiencing? Think back to when you were a kid, depending on how old you are now, think back to one of, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most sticky commercials I've ever seen in my life was for Life Alert. What did they say? They said, have you fallen and you can't get up? Right? And that's the problem people were experiencing. I remember my grandma fell once and couldn't get up. And the hospital or the police or whatever, emergency room was on the paramedics were on their way to help her. And I ended up being the one who stayed with her on the phone. And she literally was just stuck there next to the side of her bed because she couldn't get up. And she was laughing about it because she was awesome. But I sang her songs. I did all these things. It's a real problem for people of a certain demographic, right? If they're not working with Marcy, who's here especially, who says, you got to walk now or I walk her later, right? So they tapped into that problem and then they agitated it. And they said things like, we know the dangers of living alone and falling or whatever. And then from there, they said, we have the solution. Use Life Alert so that you don't fall and be stuck, right? Okay. Yes. Amazing. Standing ovation. Hooray. Okay. So this first framework, problem, agitate, solve. That is number one. If you want the notes from today's show, I have them all written out. Look, PAS. Can you see it? I've got all these examples, all of it. Okay, we're going to move into the next one, which is I call it the AIDA framework. Those of you in musical theater may get my reference, but I call it the AIDA framework. It is AIDA. That's like what it sounds like. I know people don't call it that, but they should. All right. Yes, and these look so good. Let's pull some of these up. If you can write your own PAS, let's do it. I love it. Okay, PAS. This is Marcy's. If you are over 50, do you feel like you're falling apart? Leak when you laugh? Marcy's 3D secrets, how to avoid the 3Ds, diapers, dentures, and dementia. Awesome. So I think you can dive into the agitate a little bit more there. So, and what I love to do, like I mentioned earlier, is you use this framework and then you put your own pizzazz into it. So Marcy's super spunky. So Marcy can add in something like, hey sister, let me know. Have you ever had to cross your legs when you were laughing? I've been there. And guess what? You're not alone. And then you can go into the whatever. You feel like you're falling apart. I've got you. Lucky for you, there's this awesome thing called Marcy's 3D secrets. Right? So you can add in your own funny words and those types of things. And adding in your own language in there, it's really the perfect way to say to the universe on your banana phone, it's the perfect way to say, hey, I want to attract a very specific type of person who gets me. And when you add in your own fun words, that's what starts to happen. You start to attract the people who really get you. Now, if you're not as weird as I am and you don't talk on banana phones, you still can belong here, right? And in your community, there may be other things that you mention or you bring in. And this is something we really love to help you to do, is to figure out how you can use these proven marketing strategies, but bring your own authentic self into everything that you're doing. Exactly. And this is why things like, the nuggets get used. So people start to say nugget everywhere, like the awesome Janice. Janice, let's use you as our next example for the next one. I love it. And Melanie, make sure you write the word, all one word, remind me below this video if you want the notes. Let me pull that up on the screen. Okay. Next thing is the AIDA framework. So the AID framework is another one of my favorites. And here is what it stands for. Attention. So we're going to grab their attention. Then we're going to move into the interest. We're going to really spark their curiosity. Then we're going to move into their desire. And these are the things that they want. And then we're going to move into action, which is our call to action. So in order to show you this one, I'm actually going to pull my little friend Jasper back up on the screen. And this is one that I was not familiar with until I started using Jasper. And I use it, as you can see, it's linked at the top of my account. So it's something that I use all the time now. And we're going to do this. So Janice, what is the one thing that you're promoting now? Janice helps people to organize their lives and their business and all these things. Oh, can you hear me? Hold on. Could you still hear me even though you couldn't see me? I hope so. Okay. Janice, what are you trying to promote? Tell me. I know the name of your thing and now I can't remember it. So I'm going to pull up your Facebook account here. I love what's the name of your thing? Because I love it. It's so clever and cute. Janice, tell me in the chat. You still here? I hope you are. Jam-packed. I knew it was something with your fun name. Okay. Jam-packed. That's so good, right? Okay. So declutter and get organized. So in here, what we're going to do is we're going to write jam-packed. Now, notice that we have been using a couple of different things in this company or product name. On the other one that we did earlier, we used the 5-day challenge that she's doing. I'm just going to put jam-packed. I also will use these to promote my videos. So I'll put the title of my video there. You can really put anything into the product name that you want to be leading with. And I'm just going to put solutions just to make it make sense. So jam-packed solutions. And then here, I'm going to write in here, she says, I help people declutter their spaces so they can make room for the people and activities they love. I'm actually just going to take that. So if you have written a value statement, it's great to put in here. Declutter. And what kind of people? Who's your ideal client, Janice? I'm going to say busy, successful. Those are the people who will pay us. Busy, successful people. Declutter their spaces. Declutter their spaces. Okay. Busy, successful people declutter their spaces so they can make room for the people and activities they love. So they can make room for the people and activities they love. Now, I'm going to jump forward, like in our notes. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. One of our headline tips is to do the yay and the nay. So to do so, like I love a good so that, okay? So that is like my favorite thing to add into all of our frameworks. And Janice has done this really well here. So busy, successful people declutter their spaces so that they can make room for the people and the activities they love. And then if you're in Show Up With Video, you know we talk about this a lot, that we have the without there also. So this is like the nay. So without losing their mind. Okay, I'm just going to add that in because it's whatever, fun. Okay, now in the tone of voice, I can put a person, like I could use Martha Stewart here, okay? I don't know if you like that idea, but I'm going to use it anyway. Okay, so I can use a person, and what this tool is doing, it is pulling from the internet in 2019 and before. So if this, as long as this person has written something on the internet from 2019 or before, it will actually pull their tone of voice. So I use my own name on this a lot as well. Okay, I'm going to turn this Insta. You got to join us on Facebook or YouTube if you want to actually see what we're doing. But I'm going to turn that around for you. And here we go. I'm going to generate the content now. Watch it make magic happen. And like I said, this is a framework you can use with your own brain, or if you want to be a super smarty, you use this tool and it comes up with this for you. This is another one that you can, when you go to molly.live/wow, you can use these different templates, and you can use this for almost anything in your business: Facebook ads, social media copy, emails, descriptions for your videos. These work for all of these. So here's this one. Do you feel like you're constantly tripping over piles of clothes, mail, and other random objects? I thought maybe I was, but I just looked at the floor behind me and it's totally clear. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, you're not alone. Many people feel bogged down by the amount of stuff they own. But what if there was an easy way to get rid of all that excess baggage and make you feel spacious again? Look at that interest that was just piqued. But what if, right? And then the desire, this is where it's really going to get us to dive in, right? Okay, desire, introducing jam-packed solutions, a revolutionary new way to declutter your space in just minutes. With our help, you can kiss goodbye to the stress that comes along with owning too much stuff. Say hello to a clutter-free life. And then the action is where we're going to actually do the call to action. Order your jam-packed solution kit today and be on your way to a clutter-free life. Now, if you were actually going to use this, you'd probably want to edit it a little bit, right? I have a blank screen. It's not blank on my side, so make sure you can actually see it. Anybody else see a blank screen, or just Christopher? It looks perfect on my side. Okay. Awesome. All right. So here, this is so good, and you can pull little bits and pieces out of this copy. Let's look at the next one. Do you feel like your life's a mess? Interest. You're not alone. Millions of people feel like they can't keep up with the demands of their lives. That's where Jam-Packed Solutions comes in. We help busy people declutter their spaces so they can make room for the people and activities they love without losing their mind. I love it. Imagine coming home. This is the desire. Imagine. That's a really good one too. That's like the what if. Imagine. We're learning from Jasper. Why is it going in and out? It looks perfect on my side. I don't know what's happening. Imagine coming home to a clean, organized space every day. It's not only possible, it's easy when you work with Jam-Packed Solutions. We take the stress out of decluttering so you can focus on what really matters in your life. Schedule a free consultation today and let us know how easy it is. Oh my gosh, click this ad now for your free consultation. So good. Okay, I see a great question here, which is why AIDA versus the PAS. So I personally use the PAS for my videos, for my emails. It's more of like it's an easier transition into free content. I like the AIDA for things that have a harder call to action. So for like sales pages, sales emails, things like that. And that's just me. You could use either one for either of these things. And if you're using it in your own brain, for me, the PAS is just so easy to go like problem, agitate, solve. Are you experienced? If you are a business, I mean, if you look at every one of my videos, that's how I start. If you're a business owner who has tried to get more leads or bring in more sales, the one thing that you all have to do is you have to write copy. And you may feel like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming. I get insecure. I get all this imposter syndrome. Well, don't worry. I got you. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 frameworks. That was problem, agitate, solve. It's really like choreography that you can add your own spice to. Oh, it's so good. Okay. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. So Raymond says, PAS for video. I never thought of that. I mean, it is what I do in short form videos also. So if you're doing a short form video that is like a reel or a TikTok video, it's perfect because you follow one of my main rules, which is the last framework that we're going to talk about. Oh my gosh, focus on me. Why? What's happening? Okay. You follow one of the main things, which is we're having this Mr. Rogers style conversation. Mr. Rogers started every video by saying, hey, neighbor, are you having this problem? Well, let's go fix it. So the real thing is we just need to be more like Mr. Rogers. But Mr. Rogers was using problem, agitate, solve, which you may not have realized. Pretty cool, right? All right. So far we've had the problem, agitate, solve framework. We've had the AIDA, the AIDA, I think is the official term. And now we are going to move into dun, 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 the soap opera framework. Okay, so this is more of like a style than it is a specific framework. It's going to be a little different. We can actually use Jasper for this, even though it's slightly different. What this is you want to pull stories. And the reason this is called the soap opera framework is because it's the same way that soap operas are written. We want to pull stories so that people connect with us and include this in our content, include this in our email copy, include this in like our nurture campaigns so that people are building a relationship and they want to move forward to the next step. Okay. The next step may be to look for your email tomorrow. So, I'm actually like the telenovela. Exactly. If you've ever, my guilty pleasure, can I tell you my guilty pleasure when it comes to TV? It is Jane the Virgin, which I can't believe I haven't finished the whole thing. Probably because my husband doesn't like it. So we watch other things, but I really like Jane the Virgin. And it's such a perfect example because he's making this joke about this telenovela through the whole thing. And sometimes I've even done, I did a short form like a TikTok video or a reel about the algorithm. Like today we learned that the influencer, blah, 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 whatever. So you don't have to talk like that when you're using this framework, but here's what you do need to do. You need to connect with a human being. You need to have some sort of story transformation, and we want to let them know that there's more coming. So using things like ... titles, where you're capturing their attention and you're moving them into the next section of what they want to be experiencing or learning or listening to next. I mean, even in this, right? I told you the story at the beginning about my experience with being told that I wasn't smart enough by someone that I thought I loved, right? So these little stories make things more sticky. And I heard a great tip, which I have included in the show notes. So if you've missed the show notes from today and you're watching us on the Book of Faces, all you have to do is drop the word remind me, all one word, below this video, and then follow the instructions that we send you via Messenger. I have them all written up and they will be live tonight or tomorrow, probably tonight, because I'm excited that they're already done, which is very rare. If you look in the show notes, you'll see that I refer to my friend Ryan Lee, who gave a really great tip on this, because a couple of years ago, I was really struggling with my email open rates. And I was like, it's just, no one is opening my emails. And he gave this awesome tip, which was to send more emails. And I was like, what? Will that really work? and it actually worked. And what he said is if you don't know what to talk about, there are 3 questions to ask yourself. Okay. These 3 questions are very important. Do you want to know what they are? Drop the number 3 in the chat if you would like to know, and I will tell you. Okay. So the 3 questions are, the first one is, are you ready? Drum roll. What did you do yesterday? Oh, I know, shocking. Okay. The second question is, what are you doing today? I know, shocking. And the third question is, what are you going to do tomorrow? If you are a human being who taps into who you are as a human being, you should be able to answer at least one of these questions and then write an email. So at the time, I was actually planning on hiring a copywriter to come in to write all of our emails. And I was at a mastermind call and Ryan was the guest speaker. And he like smacked me through the camera and said, "Oh my God, that is the one thing that you should not actually have other people do." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And he said, "Yeah, because your voice, you as a human being, whether or not you think you're a good writer, you are going to be able to connect with your community more than anybody else." And I understand wanting to hire fancy copywriters for like a sales page or whatever, but I promise you, the more you get into a habit of practicing just a little bit of writing like this every day, it's going to get so much easier and you are going to learn what your people actually resonate with. So, camera smack. And if you need help with it, there's things like Jasper that can help you. So even when it comes to stories like this, and I'm going to actually try and show you a really great example. So let me bring this up on the screen. In here, I'm back in Jasper. You can get this with molly.live/wow. I'm going to screen share over here as well. Okay, I'm just going to search at the top, story. Creative story. Now, one thing that I really love to do with this is to make sure that there is an end goal in mind. So we want to have some sort of objective. And if you're in the content club or you're in show up with video or you're in glam, which is our highest level VIP coaching program, in those programs, we talk about how we want to have 2 things, an intention and an objective. The intention is what you actually want to happen for that person in the moment, like from your heart. The objective is what you actually want them to do next. So your objective could be to get them to go read the next email tomorrow. Yesterday, I wrote an email that was highlighting a couple of really cool things that I did over the weekend. And my objective was to get people to click the links to go to my social media posts. Because I know if you connect with me on social media, there's a better chance that you'll actually be able to buy things from me in the future, right? My intention was that I wanted you to see what was possible. And so I told a story about how I made this crazy decision to do a 24-hour trip to New York with my son. And I told the story in email, a little bit of it, and then I led them to a link that told more of the story. Now, I didn't use Jasper to write any of that, but I could have, right? So what's another, let's look at these things here today. What's another goal that someone has? Who else is here and wants, okay, Marcy, let's use you. So what do you want the reader to do next, Marcy? For your Marcy 3D stuff, what do we want them to do? Let's tell a story, okay? I'm going to make up a name. Jane was getting ready for her son's high school graduation. She slipped and fell and was so worried that she wouldn't be able, let's make this not high school graduation. Let's make this wedding. Sadly, she slipped and fell before the big day and was so worried she wouldn't be able to dance with her son. I am totally making this up as we go. Okay. And then I'm going to say, luckily she worked with Marcy, who helped her get back on her feet and rock it out on the dance floor. Okay. So I gave like a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Okay. And then we're going to see what Jasper, I'm totally making this up. So this could be a disaster, but we'll see what happens. Okay. As Jane was getting ready for her son's wedding, she couldn't help but feel a bit anxious. She had slipped and fallen 3 months ago, but she was so worried she wouldn't be able to dance with her son on his big day. But thanks to the help of her friend Marcy, she was back on her feet and feeling confident. The night the wedding arrived, Jane took to the dance floor with gusto. Oh, I forgot to do the tone of voice, but this is witty. Took to the dance floor with gusto. She danced with her son, her husband, and even some of the other guests. It was an amazing night, and she's so happy she could be there to celebrate with her family. Do you want to be like Jane? You should download my ebook. Right? Okay, now you can use stories that you make up from other people. You can also take stories of like testimonials. So some of you may have seen that. Let's do this. Actually, this is with a testimonial. So I'm going to use this. One of our Glam members, she recently turned down. Oh my gosh, the time is flying by. We have more templates. I'm going to dive deep into this one, and then we're going to go really quick. We've got like 7 more, but the next one is like really bullet pointed. We'll go really quick. Okay. So with one of our clients, she recently was offered a job teaching at a school, and she turned it down because she had built her own reading coaching business to such a place where she doesn't need to go back and teach at the school. She decided she's going to take her family on the road, homeschool her kids, and live all over the country. Oh, so cool, right? And so as an invitation to my last masterclass, I highlighted that story using this soap opera framework. So let's talk about how this could work. So same thing. I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to say, I'm not going to use her name. She said I could say who she was. I'm going to use her name. She was like, I'll go on your show. Okay. So Sharon was offered a teaching position. She turned it down because she had built her own private reading coaching business. Now she is preparing to live on the road with her husband and kiddos. I should put this over here. Sorry. That's why you should come on Facebook. Kiddos, living a life that she had only dreamt. See, I can't spell. Okay, I'm going to make this tone of voice magic. Okay, here we go. Watch. This, again, could be totally weird because I'm just making this up on the spot. Okay, Sharon always loved reading as a child. Oh, my phone just died. Instagram. Fail. I wanted to save that video. We'll see what ends up happening. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, Sharon always loved reading. As a child, she would spend hours lost in storybooks. When she was older, she became a teacher and shared her love of reading with her students. But then she had an idea. This is like attention, interest, desire. What if she could help people to read for themselves? She quit her teaching job and started a private reading coaching business. For years, Sharon's business thrived. She loved helping people discover the joy of reading themselves. But then she was offered a teaching position in another state, she turned it down because of her business, but now she's realizing maybe it's time for a change. Sharon and her husband decided to sell their house and live on the road, and then it runs out of space. Super cool stuff that we could use, right? I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a really great one that you can use in your emails and then say like, come back tomorrow for the next step. We call this this strategy, the soap opera thing of like giving you just a little bit and then moving you to the next step. What we call this in our Glam program, we call it Whitneying. Because if you listen to the Whitney Houston song, I Have Nothing, she does this in the song with the music. She starts off like really nice and easy. Take my hand. Is that the first words? You see through, right through the heart of me, right? And then she gets a little grittier. You break down my walls with the strength of your love, ooh, right? And as she goes through each chorus, each verse, it gets a little more gritty, it gets a little more meaty, and this is what you can do with your soap opera framework. Then when she gets into the "Don't let me close one more door," right? She gets there. By the time she gets the third or second verse, she brings in this key change, and we're all like, "Oh my God, Whitney, take our credit cards." And that's like where you would get to the offer. So let's say it's a 4-part email series. You're giving a little bit of a teaser all along the way. And then the key change happens and you put the opportunity out there to be able to work with you. So cool, right? Little bonus nugget. Whitneying, it works. All right. Speaking of Whitney, would you like, this is kind of a bonus. It is. I have 5. Do I have 5 here? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 headline frameworks. Do you want all of them? If you do, I'm just going to rattle them off. I'm also going to plug this in really quick so I can get back to our Instagram folks. So let me know if you want it. I'm plugging this in. And you can see I have no clutter on the floor. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to read these off of here because I just put these together this morning. The first one is one that we use a lot. So I love the use of the word unexpected. Okay. So this is the unexpected, and I made this one up. It's the unexpected yay, nay framework. And here's how it goes. Unexpected ways to yay without nay. So, okay. Angeline, what are you selling? Tell us what you're selling. And I'm going to use you as an example. Evelyn, let's use yours because I know what you're selling. So unexpected ways, let's say 5 unexpected ways to wow your customers with promo products without giving them a bunch of junk. Okay, that was a little long, but I tried to tie it into Evelyn's offer. Okay, so you want to bring in the unexpected, makes them go, what? It doesn't have to be unexpected. It could be like easy ways, but secret ways. I really like the unexpected though. Okay, then we're going to get into more secrets in a bit. The next one is the what if headline. Now you heard this as part of the AIDA, that one interest line had that what if. Also, we had that inside this story. It said, but then she had an idea. What if, right? It brings that curiosity and brings people closer into wanting to learn more from us. So I'm going to say, what if you could write all of your copy for the entire month without spending a whole entire week doing it? What if? What if you could make more sales in less time? What if, right? That's a great like hook headline at the beginning. The next one is the how-to headline. And we use this a lot for our videos. So how to write copy in 5 easy steps. How to batch create your content in 2 hours. Batch create all of your content for the whole month. And remember, if you're not already with us, I know I'm doing this live video actually inside the content club right now because I thought these would be helpful for you guys. If you're not in the content club, go to molly.live/content club and you can join us. We have a really bananas deal on it right now, which is if you pay in full, you get 5 months for free, which is only because I have not wanted to change out the link on the sales page because it's just kind of, it's easier for me to just leave it. Oh, that's not I wrote the same link twice, which I did not mean to do. It's molly.live/content club. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. So the next one is the numbers headline. And this is the one that we use almost every video, which is like 5 ways to blah, blah, blah. So like this one for the video that we have today, it is 5 easy copywriting frameworks that will change your life and get you sales, right? Just putting a number on it makes people know that there's more coming. So they want to stay on. All right. The final one on here is the secret headline, which is the secret to blah, blah, blah is blah, blah, blah. The secret to sales is great copywriting. So join us for this upcoming video. Right? So easy. And these are like Mad Lib style. It's so great. It's so great. The content club is our club where we hang out once a month. It's just $30 a month. You get to hang out with me and we plan out your entire content plan for the whole entire month. So our next call is actually this coming Friday. So you could get in and you're going to get replay access to all of them that we've done. It's been almost a year since we've had it. And you get a little training thing on how to use different copywriting tools and how to write copy, and then how to take that copy and repurpose it, which is really, really awesome and helpful. Okay. So those are our 5 headline frameworks: the unexpected yay nay headline, the what if headline, the how to headline, the secret headline, and the numbers headline. All of those will be in the show notes. So if you want the notes from today's show, just drop the word remind me, or I'll probably add them around here somewhere and you'll be able to get access. Okay. Now, the last thing that we're going to cover is, this is something that I actually created on my own. It's a framework and it's more of a style. And I call it the Mr. Rogers style conversation. Now, a part of this actually encompasses a little test that I do with almost every single piece of copy that I write. And I almost always have to go back and fix it. So I want you to know that if this is something that I catch you doing, if I'm like, oh, we call it the eye test, do the eye test. And you're like, oh, why do I always forget that? I forget it every single time. So I got you. So here's what the Mr. Rogers style conversation is. Whether you are writing an email, whether you are writing social media copy, whether you are doing a video, you want to speak to one person. On the documentary for Mr. Rogers, for his show, he was asked, why do you think your video was such a success? Why do you think your show was such a success? And he said, it's because I spoke to one person. And if you look back at that show, he wasn't saying, hey, everybody in the neighborhood. He said, hey, neighbor. And then he said something like, are you having a hard time tying your shoe today? Come to the shoe factory and I'll show you how. Right? Like I said earlier, he was using that problem solution framework there. Right? And if you look at your email, I see sometimes that people write email copy where it's like, hey guys, and there's 2 different schools of thought for this. I could start the video today by saying, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you all are here. This is such an amazing community and I'm so grateful for you guys. And what that does, if I say you guys or you people, whatever, it brings the community together so you know that you're part of a bigger collective experience, which is cool when you use it intentionally. But if you are always saying you guys, hey everybody, hey y'all, in your individual pieces of copy, the problem is, I don't know if you realize this, but our community members are not reading this copy out loud in a room with other people. They are reading it inside their own head. So why are you speaking as if you're on stage with an entire audience? Because you're actually not. If you're watching this video right now, let me know in the chat. Is someone else watching this with you? We may have a few people who are like with their friends or their family watching this video together today, but put the number in the chat of how many people are actually watching this with you, whether you're watching it live or in the replay. Put that number in the chat. And I'm going to wait for it. I have my coffee. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. It's a great test. Okay. And Dawn is watching it with 2 people, which is so cool. Lori, are you a ghost? Lori says 0, but I think that means just you and nobody else, right? So that really means 1. And Angeline, same thing. 0, nobody else, just me. Yeah. So Dawn is watching it with her friends. I want to know who's watching it. Me and my dog. Right? So here's what the eye test is. First of all, we think of Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers is the driving force in everything that I do basically in life. Okay. Kindness, all of that. Look for the helpers, be a helper, all of it. Right? Audra, I'm so glad that you're here. Audra's watching with Gracie, who's the best little viewer. I love you, Gracie, too. Her pup. Okay. So now when you write a piece of copy, go back and look at it and see how many times did you use the letter I on its own as a singular word. And this can be I or even we. Sometimes I sneak in we because I'm like, ooh, maybe this will be a little bit less self-focused, but we are all inclined to focus on ourselves. We are all inclined to focus on our own human experience. But guess what? Your business is actually about the people that you serve. It's not about you. It's about the people you serve. So when you write copy, write it just from your own point of view, however it comes out initially. then go back and do the eye test. Now, I'm actually going to do this on my own. I'm going to pull up my Facebook account, okay? And I'm going to go in here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think, I don't know what this is, but so even like this, I have the best people in my life. I'm not even showing you what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pull Bijal up. Now, it's not always the case. Sometimes I have Glam members who are like, there's a lot of eyes in that piece of copy. And sometimes I just get over it and I use the word I. But this, like, I have the best people in my life. She easily could take this top line and say, have you ever realized how awesome the people are in your life? And then it makes me have an experience with it where I then want to know more. Right? Okay, and she added in that little UC, which connects with them, but let's look at some of these. And I'll show you how I didn't do it on that one, but let's see. Okay, this is actually a perfect example. So my ex said I wasn't smart enough for him is our best performing email subject line. I didn't do it on this one. Oh my God. And look at all of the eyes. And it's so funny because this one did okay, but my husband was I'm like fully outing myself right now. My husband was making fun of me last night we were around the kitchen counter and my nieces live with us. And he was like, did you see the post that Molly put on Facebook today? And he starts reading it out loud. Okay. And I was like, that story usually works really well, but I didn't get very much engagement on it at first. And it was funny because some people who know him started commenting on it, which I was like, that was not my intention. I really just I have no, whatever. He's like living his life. I haven't talked to him in forever, but I use that story as a way to like connect. Right. But I am now realizing I didn't do my own test. So let me do this on myself to fix it for you all to see. Okay. So this, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to edit the post. So, and the really easy way to do it is just by adding in something to the top that says like, have you ever fallen and you couldn't get up? I'm just kidding, right? So ever had an experience where you allowed okay, and I'm really big in this story about taking my own ownership over this, that it has nothing to do with what he said to me. It's how I took those words and allowed them to mean something, right? Who cares that he didn't think that I was his type of smart, whatever. What really matters here is that I'm taking this experience and I'm letting people know that I've been there. I'm giving you an experience that you can relate to. Okay, so ever had an experience where you allowed someone to make you feel small or less than? When my ex said I wasn't smart enough for him, and maybe this is too many ellipses. Okay, I embedded major limiting beliefs around all things writing. Now, one other little thing that I always do when I'm writing social media posts is I try to keep as many paragraph breaks as possible, just because on the phone it's so small, right? But in the very beginning, I try not to use any paragraph breaks because this is what shows up above the fold. And I'm getting really like nitty gritty into ways to make your content and your copy convert better today. This is the kind of stuff that we do inside the Content Club. It's the kind of stuff, if you want even more support inside Show Up With Video, where we have weekly calls. This is the stuff that we do in Glam, where we have daily calls. I love nerding out on these little teeny tiny tweaks that make a huge difference. Huge difference. Okay. So I hope you are enjoying this. And I know we're a little over time, but I scheduled extra time today. Okay. And I'm just going to pull up my calendar just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I scheduled myself until I usually give myself an extra half hour. I did. Okay, perfect. He was a writer and I decided to associate all things writing as something that I wasn't smart enough to do well. That might not be English either, but I don't care. Cut to, most of my success in business is actually hugely dependent on writing. Now, if I look at this, I added that U at the very top, but I still have a lot of eyes in here. So I'm going to add in another U. Have you ever done that? He was a writer and I decided, blah, 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 cut to the most, blah, 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 blah. And I actually love writing now. And then I'm going to add another you in here. This is good. I'm editing my own copy. So here I'm going to say, if you've struggled with hope, and I'll add in some emojis, right? And if you joined us partway through, I am going to do a recap of all of these in just a moment. There are a few things I did which helped me to be more confident and love the time I spend writing. One that had the biggest impact was to dive in and learn frameworks that made it easy for me to follow a pattern and put my own on language within boundaries that helped me to feel more free. I'm going to walk through the frameworks, blah, 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 blah. Want access? These help me to feel more confident, yada, yada, yada. So I can go through and I can add more yous into this. And I'm going to save it now, and maybe it will get more reach now that the top of it is not all about me. So I'm using my own frameworks to increase my engagement. All right. Amazing nuggets. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Okay. So here's my question to you. Anybody have any questions? I scheduled a little extra time today because I wanted to make sure that I had time to jump in and answer questions if you have them, because I love nerding out about this stuff. I'm also going to do a little recap. And while I do this little recap, I am going to see your nuggets coming in, and then I'm going to go back and pick a nugget winner to win a selfie light. Remember, if you want reminders in the future, drop the word remind me below this video. You can also go to molly.live/remind me. It will take you to a messenger conversation where we'll get you all signed up for reminders. And I'll come back to your questions after this little, recap. Okay, so here we go. If you have struggled with writing at all in any way, shape, or form, one thing that will definitely help you is to use proven copywriting frameworks. And I'm going to give you 5 of my favorites right now so that you can start writing copy that converts with ease, like even actually love it. And if we've never met before, my name's Molly Mahoney. Hey, so good to see you. I love helping business owners just like you to be able to get clients with video and organic social. And this copy stuff is something that we really focus on inside our content club, which you can learn more about if you go to molly.live/content club. Okay, the first framework is the pizazz framework. This is my absolute favorite. I use it for emails, video descriptions, social media posts. Even when I'm speaking on camera, I use this one. And the pizazz stands for problem, agitate, solve. Are you struggling to get your content written, planned out? Do you feel stressed out and overwhelmed? Oh my gosh, I've been there. Now I'm moving into the agitate section. I've been there. You're not alone. And I learned a system and created a system that actually makes it so easy to be able to create all of your content in just 2 hours. This solution, now I'm in the solution section, is called the Content Club. See how I did that? So easy, just on the fly. Problem, agitate, solve. Okay, framework number 2 is the AIDA. I call it AIDA because I like musical theater. Okay, so this is attention. You're going to grab attention with a hook or a headline. Interest. This is great to say like, well, what if you did blah, blah, blah. Desire. Imagine that, yada, yada, yada. You're going to, entice their desire. And then action. And that's the very specific call to action. So attention, interest, desire, action. That is AIDA. And if you want help in putting these frameworks into action, you can use our favorite copywriting tool, which is called Jasper. You go to molly.live/wow. You can get a free trial. And all of these frameworks, these first 2, are inside Jasper in addition to a bunch of other frameworks. And it'll write this copy for you. It is so cool. And then you can go in and put your own little spin on it. Okay. Number 3, the third framework that we're going to be covering is the soap opera sequence. Now, what this is you tell stories with either you as the main character, or you use an example of a client, or you use an example of a fictional character, and you tell stories. So you could do like 4 emails where you tell stories and you leave a little cliffhanger at the end of it. So they have to come in and read the next email, right? This type of storytelling framework is so, so, so good. They call it the soap opera framework. You can Google soap opera marketing copy and you'll find a lot about it. It's a really cool framework. And 3 questions that I shared. If you don't know what to write, my friend Ryan Lee taught me this. You ask yourself, what did I do yesterday? What am I doing today? What am I going to do tomorrow? Pretty awesome. Easy. Okay, the next thing that I want to share with you is what I call the Mr. Rogers framework. So, your Mr. Rogers style conversation is where you actually speak to one singular person. And if you know, we've gone over this together bajillions of times, but Mr. Rogers started his video by saying, "Hey, neighbor." He didn't say, "Hey, everybody on YouTube." He said, "Hey, neighbor." He spoke to us individually, and then he transformed a generation because we opened our hearts and listened to him, right? From there, you can do what I call an eye test. This is all inside the show notes, which will be around this video somewhere. In this eye test, you go back and look at your copy and you find how many times did you use the word I as opposed to the word you, and you shift that. Okay, the final thing is I've got these 5, I have notes here. I have 5 headline hook kind of frameworks that I'm just going to rattle off for you in case you're just coming in. We're going real quick. The first is the unexpected yay or nay headline. So, 5 unexpected ways to win without losing, right? Then the next one is the what if headline. What if you could write all of your content without losing your mind? The next one, the how-to headline. And so this is how to write all of your content in just 5 easy steps, right? It's all like Mad Lib style. The next one is the numbers headline. I use this one a lot. So like 5 ways to batch create your content. Number 1 way is to join the content club. Molly.live/content club. Okay, the next one is the secret headline. And I love secret or unexpected words like that. The secret to creating content without living every moment on social media. Dun, dun, dun. All right. And those are your copywriting frameworks. You actually got 9 of them, not just 5. If you enjoyed this, make sure that you follow us here, you like, you subscribe, all of those things. Click the little bell if you're watching it on YouTube, because we've got more goodness where this came from. My name is Molly Mahoney, and I love helping people like you to get clients with video so people throw credit cards at your face. Okay, now what you just witnessed was me actually recording the video that we're going to use on YouTube later. So I'm going to crop that video up and use it on other platforms. That is our speedy recap, and we got so many nuggets. Okay, I'm so stoked. Here's how we pick the nugget. Are you ready? What? Okay, ready? I love all these nuggets. Here's how we do it. I sing, and then I pick it. Okay, so I'm going to sing. We've been listening to Wicked a lot lately. I'm going to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, or just Over the Rainbow is what it's called. That's what I usually sing. Here we go. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. See who it is? Ah, it is done. Mr. Rogers, hey, neighbor, speak to an individual. Shift the I to you. Hooray. Yes. So Dawn, email us at molly@thepreparedperformer.com and send us your address and let us know that you won a selfie light, and we will send you one in the mail. We sell these for $20, but I'm going to give it to you for free because you left an awesome nugget. Hooray. Okay. Oh, Molly is spelled with a Y, Molly. Thank you for that, Dale. Thank you for clarifying. I'm going to write it down. Molly.live/content club is how you can join us in the content club. We use Jasper a lot in there, but it's not necessary. Everything that we're doing in there works with or without Jasper. It's pretty dang awesome. All right. This was so fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for experiencing our new backdrop for the first time. It only took me, at this point, we started this business in 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 8 years to get, a professional video camera and teleprompter and sign. Okay. Thank you so much. This was awesome. If you want even more support, like a higher level of support, either in our GLAM program or you're interested in done for you services, because we do done for you repurposing as well, then drop the word call below, or you can actually go to the link. Actually, just send me a message. Send me a message because I'm not sure exactly what link I'm supposed to give you right now for the call. But drop the word call below and someone from our team will reach out and get you booked with a call, which will be so good. And like I said, we have One of our programs, we have daily calls. You can come on and get support. Another, we offer done for you repurposing. So you do your videos and then we chop them up into all the awesome things that go all over the place. It's pretty awesome. So if you are interested in one of those, just drop the word call and we'll reach out. Okay. It's my absolute joy and pleasure and honor to be here with you. I'm going to write a post about this later, but literally I cried the whole way from dropping the boys off at school today because I'm just so grateful. And there's just so much possibility. And I love this community so much. So thanks, y'all. See, I used it intentionally. Thanks for being a friend. Okay, I'm going to try and use my teleprompter to end this. I'm clicking the button. Okay, thank you so